Good evening and welcome to a live podcast. I'm Bob Pace and I'm here to fight CPS Stop Taking Our Children. This podcast is found me on Facebook, How to Fight CPS, and I'm broadcast on YouTube and I'm using StreamYard application. This is shown all over the world. And I want to give a warm welcome to all you families out there that are trying to get your children back. Somehow you've had your children taken from you. And I'm hoping that I can share with you things that will help you with getting your children back. Now, this podcast is on Monday through Sunday, 2 times a day at 10 o'clock in the morning Pacific Standard Time for 1 hour and 7 o'clock at night for 1 hour Pacific Standard Time. On Sunday, I come on a couple hours early at 8 o'clock in the morning because I go to church. So I'm on a little bit earlier. This Friday night, I'll be at a football game, a high school game, and I'll be coming on at 4 o'clock instead of 7 o'clock. That's October 4th, this Friday. So those are only 2 exceptions, but you'll find me on with 14 shows a week. Now, to interact with this podcast is that there are 4 ways to do so. The first way being is that you can be in this room, which is your first way, and that's great. You can do emojis like thumbs up, smiley faces, or hearts. Also, stars are nice. You want to send me some stars. Now, if you want to follow my, I'd like you to follow my podcast. You can subscribe. And also, if you want to know when I'm on, hit the notification button on there. Now, let's say that you want to do something more than listen to the room and you want to maybe say something. Well, you can also type a comment. That's the second way of being interactive with this podcast. And it can be a question or a comment, and we want to keep it to CPS. Now, CPS, I call CPS the Child Protection System. And what it is, it's a branch of social services that is supposed to protect our children from neglect and abuse, and also help families in need, such as food, clothing, housing, education for the children, medical, and a job. Now, furthermore, this child protection system is supposed to put your family back together again if they remove your children in what's called unification. They're supposed to do unification. And that's the purpose, and that is a group I call. It's a county organization in every state. It varies from state to state, and they all have different acronyms. But when I say CPS, I mean the Child Protection System. So please show your name. Your first name is fine. The city or county that your case is in. And if you want to just do the county, that's fine. But the city or county and the state. Now, I also have people that text from other countries. There's about 14 countries. And they've been texting messages in. So I welcome them also. Please list your city or your country when you text in a question or a comment. Try to be complete with your case, and that would be good. Um, um, Now, to be complete with your case, try to explain the makeup of your family, the ages of your children, the sexes, what the allegations were, and how were the children taken, and where you at on your case. So that would be great. Now, a third way is to be a guest on my on my podcast. I can take up to 9 more people. Total of 10 can be on the podcast one time as guests. Now, to be a guest, all you do is contact our show producer. Her name is Grace. She works hard behind the scenes to make the show run well, and she will the one that will handle you getting on as a guest. You just email her with one of my 14 shows, either a Saturday morning show or a Sunday evening show, a Wednesday morning show, or a Monday evening show. Just pick one of those times, one of those days, and she'll put it on. You email her at grace@vincentwdavis.com. Grace@vincentwdavis.com. And once she contacts you, she'll give you a link for StreamYard, and you get on StreamYard. And then if you ever get knocked off, don't lose that link, because that link's still good, and you can get on. You can get on. Now, another thing is that she'll tell you what to do as a guest, like no eating or smoking on the show. We don't use the names of children, social workers, or judges on the show. And she'll help you out with your lighting and so forth and everything. The fourth way to interact with this podcast is to place a call to my number, which now I'm live. It's 626-698-0990. And you can call me. I'll put you on speakerphone. And it's I use Vonage, which is the application for the phone. And I'd love to hear from you. So I've told you about 4 ways that you can interact. 1, just being in the room. 2, texting a comment or a question. 3, be a guest on my podcast. Or 4, the call in to 626-698-0990. Now, I seem to be having some trouble with one of my guests who is on my show all the time, but now her name and her comments are not showing up on the podcast, and I don't understand why. I've been trying to figure it out all day today, but I don't know where the rest of the regular people that I usually have in this room have gone to. I used to have a whole bunch of people now, but now one of my regular people, for some strange reason, is not showing up when she's on, or her question she's left there. Okay, I will do so. Thank you. I will do so. All right. We've not really had too many regular people that I usually have. I don't know. I'm going to try to contact some more people and see what's going on here. Right now, the show is open to how people want to go, and that would be great. Um, um, Now we can go where we can talk about the topics, talk about the rules. I have lots of topics. These things like the ICWA, the 1978 Act, or I can talk about the 388 motion, or how to file complaints, either locally, state, or federal. How to do anything you can think about. We can talk about those. I have Core Digest, which is a question answer application that people call in about a question, then they have answers about CPS. Now, CPS, I know that you'll probably experience some difficulty with them. Now, hello.
Hello, Bob.
Yes, who is this?
This is Heidi. I'm from Allegan County, Michigan.
Okay, welcome. Are you in my room right now?
I am. I paused, but now I can hear you.
I
can hear you. I think I was the one that was trying to do the comment and it wouldn't let me.
Yeah, I don't understand why the comments are not coming in now. So you're from Michigan. How did you?
I have a question.
Yeah, before you go on, how did you find this room? Did you find me from Bob Pace on my Facebook page?
On YouTube.
On YouTube. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why.
Right now.
I don't know why your name is not showing up in my room, but somehow my comments. It says there's a message. It says some destinations won't get comments. Learn more. Now there must be something that's blocking it.
Yeah, it let me the other day when I asked you a question. I even called you and asked another question, and this is my third question.
Yeah, I don't understand. It says chat board support. It says YouTube, read and post. Facebook pages is both. Huh. I need to make sure my streams on Facebook are public, it says. Somehow, some adjustments are made to my StreamYard here. Grace, if you can hear me, there seems to be some confusions, and that's why a lot of people aren't coming on to the show there. If you can look at Learn More, some destinations won't get comments. Anyway, you're from Michigan. You have a case. Can you tell me about your case or your question?
My question is, it started off with my oldest daughter coming to visit. I have 4 children in total, but she started staying with her dad this year. Anyways, so she wanted to get my phone, and she was being rude and being a teenager. So she ended up hitting me, punching me, and scratching me. And then I was just too tired at that moment to, try to put my foot down. But I tried. I did call a cop, and the cop, I kind of regret calling the cop now. But yeah, he gave me the police report. The police report said the same thing. She did, want the phone, and she did hit me, and she did push me, and she did scratch me over the phone. But that I didn't do anything to her. And so they started charging her for domestic violence against her, and they sent me a victim sheet, and then I went to that court date for her because I'm her mother, and nobody showed up to that, and so I guess they were gonna reschedule it. Then I went Monday and I went Tuesday to the courthouse. Wednesday, I ended up getting half of my children, and we were having a good night, and then all of a sudden, a cop comes to my door at about 10:30 at night, and he says I'm getting charged. He's arresting me for a warrant on domestic violence, and that's about it. And so they handcuffed me and took me to jail and let me go within 40 minutes, I believe. And they told me to call in the morning to figure out my next court date. Now I'm going for arraignment on October 23rd for domestic violence, which they had cleared me. They said that, exactly what the police report says, that, I didn't do anything to my daughter. And but now CPS wants to they're trying to make me admit to false allegations, and now and we had a Zoom meeting and everything, and there was 9 different CPS people there, and I had my best friend Rosie there, and also the father of the children were there, and I have full custody of my children, but because of this incident, ever since this incident, I guess custody is on pause, they said, CPS. So because they said I wouldn't comply, which I did. They said I didn't know my kids' ages. When I did, I even have a video saying to the cops that right away, I don't know where they're just making up stuff. Anyways, I don't even know the one that was talking, and she didn't even show her face or nothing. I knew the other CPS people, but they have false allegations of suspected drug use. All of a sudden, it said, and my daughter was yelling at me because I was sleeping that Saturday and was slamming my door and wanted the phone, and I told her no because my son was using it. And so now they want to. My question is, what is petition for petition drafted?
Okay, I'm a little confused. You have 4 children, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. And you called the police and they arrested you?
No, they didn't arrest nobody. They just wanted me and my oldest daughter, the 13-year-old, to split up.
Okay,
So
here's my problem. How old are the kids? I don't know how old the kids are.
The other children, my oldest is 13. The other children, I have 2 more daughters, which is she's 10, and the other one is 8, and then my son is 7.
Okay, so you have 3 girls, 1 boy. The youngest is 7, the oldest is 13.
Yes.
And why did you call the police?
Because she started hitting me, and I didn't know what to do about it.
Who was hitting you? Who was hitting you?
My daughter.
Which one? You have 3 daughters.
My oldest daughter.
Now, why was she hitting you?
Because she wanted the phone, and I didn't want to give her the phone. So I told her, I came towards her, and I said, with an open hand, I said, I'm still your mother. I can still spank your bottom. And on the police report, it says that too. But I guess because the cops also said, we probably could charge you because you were coming towards her. You were coming at her, so it's kind of like a defense. Like she has the right to defend herself. I'm like, but I didn't do it. I didn't even touch her. Like I just kind of was just.
Well, she's a teenager. She's rebellious. She's a teenager. What about the father of your 4 children?
The father of my children, we're still married. been together since we were 12, and we've been married for about 10 years. And he ended up having a baby in another relationship. He's got in our marriage, and he alienates me really bad. He acts like I don't exist. The night I got arrested, he called my mother, and he laughed and said that I hope Heidi dies. And so on the CPS meeting, I told him, please stop calling my family and threatening them.
Well, here's to understand. I don't understand the whole picture unless I've given all the pieces to the puzzle. And that's why I have all these questions I have and so forth. So you're married, you've been with this guy since you guys were both 12 years old?
Yes.
Okay, that's fine. And you got married, and you had, is he the father of all 4 children?
Yes, he is.
Okay. And then you guys have some disagreement. He's dropped out of your life and your children's life, and now he has a baby with another woman.
Yes.
Okay. Is he giving you child support?
Once child support hit, which finally the judge, I don't know why it took forever, but finally the judge ruled that he gets 74 nights out of the year with the children. On June 1st, it started child support, and that's when it started. He hasn't paid a cent, and I have never received any support from him for the last 2 or 3 years. And the only reason I did this was because so I could have some type of help, at least a little bit of some sort, But anyways, he told me because of that, he said, I'm going to get it now. And then this is like basically what's happening now. He's trying to get the kids, and he already reversed, DHS. He already put them in school in a different county, I don't know how he can. He already
okay. First of all, you guys are legally married, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. If you're legally married, he has to help out, and you have to help both raise the 4 children. What he does with another woman is no one really cares about. Okay.
Okay.
They only care about the father and the mother of the 4 children. Now, if he chooses not to, and you guys went to, was this a CPS custody or was this a divorce custody?
This was, say that the first one again, it was a what custody?
Well, okay. You can go ask for custody in divorce cases. Like if you're going to get divorced, but you're not divorced, but you want to go talk about custody, you can do that. Or if you were called in by CPS that you're doing some damaging to your children, then they can arrange custody.
No, well, the first one, it was me basically taking my husband to court for child support and for custody, because I either said
that's what I'm saying. You were taking your husband because he no longer wanted to be with you, and you're taking him for the custody and for the support of your 4 children, correct?
I was basically telling him to sign off his rights, or at least be supportive in the family.
Well, that's a CPS matter. I'm a little confusing. Are you talking about divorce in family court, or are you talking about CPS in family court?
Well, CPS didn't get involved in this case until a month later.
Okay, that's what I need to know. See, you need to explain, and it's not your fault. It's like I'm sitting here trying to understand so I can answer your questions is what I'm trying to do. And it's a very hard thing you're going through because you as a parent are shown responsibility by taking care of these 4 children. Unfortunately, when children become 12 and 13 and 14, they become rebellious. They're coming teenage times. And if your relationship with your husband's bad, they're going to take advantage of that. They're going to pit one parent against the other parent, and they're going to make you look bad.
Yeah, they're trying to charge me for domestic, or CPS is trying to say that I'm getting charged with domestic violence when I didn't touch.
Well, okay. Were you ever arrested for domestic violence?
Say that again?
Were you ever arrested for domestic violence?
Nope, not at all. But he's got a few of them on his record.
Okay. Was the domestic violence with you or somebody else?
It was with me
Okay,
twice before,
so he
yeah,
has
and I
several
like that.
domestic violent charges, but you never have. So why would CPS says that it's because of domestic violence if it's with your husband, not you?
Well, it was um this. I don't know. They didn't want to hear anything I had to say because they said that I'm not taking responsibility of this me being charged with domestic violence. Like I'm because they want me to start right away with classes and drug testing and that they have concerns about the home, and they have been in the home. They wanted to check if there was water because the allegation was that I didn't have no water. I showed them that I had water. They wanted to see if the refrigerator was full. I had 2 gallons of milk in there and it was all full and all full of food. And they said, well, good, and
Well, how did they get in your home? How did they get in your home?
Because they wanted to, they came and they knocked, and I didn't have an attorney, and I still don't have an attorney, and I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what I didn't know my rights all the way.
Do you know that you're not allowed? Do you know that you cannot allow them in? You don't have to allow them in your home. You know that.
Yeah, I know. I just wanted them to see that, because they were saying that.
Well, they're going to go for fishing.
I don't even have a toilet. Is what
yeah, they're going to go for fishing. Hold on 1 second. Hold on one second. Hold on. Hello. Hello.
Hi. Yes, I was wanting to ask some legal questions.
I would love to help you, ma'am, but I'm on the call with another person. Are you in my room yet? Are you in my room? My podcast?
How do I get in there?
Okay, you go to Facebook, you go to Bob Pace Fight CPS, and then you come into my room and you'll see I'm talking with somebody else right at the moment.
Okay,
but
sorry.
I know I do want to talk to you. You just said when I get through with the other person, you're next, okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, now I got my other person here. Okay.
Hello?
Hey, I was talking to you and I got disconnected from you.
Yeah, it confuses me a little bit, because I just listening to myself a minute ago.
I'm so sorry. What happened is that a person, you see, the problem is people are having trouble getting into my room for some strange reason. And I guess the application I'm using has made a lot of changes I don't know about. So I told the other person, you need to come into my room so you know when you can call in. She just called in because people write down my number and they call back again. And so I'm sorry for the confusion, but as you're explaining to me, and I'm trying to understand this, at first step was you were trying to get child support in custody, which I understand. And during that period of time, CPS. Now, how did CPS first get involved? Is because you called the police, or did they just show up, or what?
I think it was because of the fact that the girlfriend, my husband's new girlfriend, told me we have a CPS order saying you are not, we have the kids until you have a safe and fitted home or something like that, because I don't have no water, I don't have food, and I have drugs in the home is what she
Wait. Is someone making a complaint, a lay person?
Well, I went to go pick up my children on that Sunday, like the judge
I wasn't there on Sunday, so I don't know what day you would pick them up, so I didn't know. Okay. So where are you picking up your...
And that's what she told me. So I went looking for a Gregory Turner with a CPS caseworker to say, hey, I want to know, what's going on, because these people won't give me back my children, basically. And then they were like, well, we don't know anything about your case. You should go back over there with the cop and tell them that you have full custody. So that's what I did. I went over there 3 times with a cop, and they basically said that they can't force him to take the kids out of the home because it's not his home. It's his cousin's home.
Wait. I'm confused. What house are you at? Are you at your house? Or are you at your husband's house?
I have a home. I have my house is on 2 acres. It's got 5 bedrooms. It's my family's home. I've been here since I was like 9.
Okay, I understand that. But the thing is, what home were you trying to get your kids at? What home was that at?
Well, this was the first time that Adam got to have them for the weekend.
Who is Adam? Who is Adam?
Adam's my husband.
Oh, okay. So your husband has your children for the first time because of the custody arrangement.
Yeah, because he said that because of my oldest daughter's domestic, and also there's some allegations saying that my house got problems.
Okay.
And so until
I understand that. That is like later on. I'm trying to get at the beginning. It's hard for me to work in the middle of what you're talking about. Okay, let me go back to the very, very beginning. There was a custody hearing, correct, with a judge?
Correct.
Okay, CPS wasn't involved.
No.
Okay, during the custody arrangement, what was it decided on?
That Adam gets 74 days overnight a year, and I get the rest.
Okay.
They got full physical custody with me.
Okay, so you had taken your 4 children or 1 child?
No, I've always had my kids, but my oldest daughter, we had an argument back in January over the phone, and I wanted to try to ground her off the phone. Well, she got physical with me then also, and it was around Christmas time, actually. It was Christmas Eve, and she got physical with me over the phone because I found her chatting with some older guy, and she's 13.
Right.
So I tried taking it away from her, and she literally just started hitting me, and started doing a stuff. So I, called the cop, and I said, this is what's going on. And then I got because at the moment I was staying with a family up in Muskegon, and he got mad at me, the owner of the house, and said, on Christmas Eve, you're going to have a cop show up to the house, Heidi. And I said, I'm sorry, I just don't know what to do right now. I'd like him to tell my daughter that I am her mother, and I have motherly rights over her. If I want to take the phone away, I can.
Okay. And what stopped you from, she physically wouldn't give you the phone?
Yeah, she basically.
Well, who pays for the phone plan?
I was paying for it.
Well, what you do is you call up the phone company and your carrier and tell her to turn off that phone number. That's a good way to disable the phone.
Yeah, it was an app she started using, and now it was like, it wasn't on the phone. It was like an app, but a new app. I don't even know what it is right now at the moment.
Well, if you turn off the phone, they can't get an app to load. You need to turn off the phone completely.
She would not stop hitting me until she had that phone back in her hands, and I just did not want to continue with my daughter.
I understand. Your safety is important, but what I'm trying to tell you, that if you call a carrier and talk to the phone carrier, they'll disable the phone that she can't even get on the internet on it.
Yeah, I should have done that.
I mean, all you need to do is put the phone is dead, and you have every right because you're the one that's paying for that phone. If she won't give you the phone, don't fight for the phone. Just turn off the phone line.
Yeah.
And
Well,
once
I
you
ended
turn
up
off the
giving
phone
back.
line, she cannot. That phone is locked, by the way. It's not one of those unlocked phones that anybody can put in a SIM card and make it work.
Well, ever since then, my daughter has been telling me I have problems and that I need to go get help. She sounds just like her father. Her father told me the same thing. But the thing is, everything that they say, they have no proof of. If they, they have no facts. They just say,
well, if your
help,
daughter,
and then that's
where
all
does your daughter want to be with you? Does your daughter want to be with your husband?
To be honest with you, she just doesn't want to be in this house. Why? Because we're in the country. We're out here by the farm. There is no, trailer park like she's out with where my husband lives. It's by the trailer park where my sisters and their kids live, and that's where I kind of grew up too. But when we come here to this house, there's no kids down the road, and there's no park down the road. It's country out here. So
Yeah.
there's horses in the front yard. I mean, across the street.
Well, she's probably discovered what a lot of teenagers have discovered, which is boys. And when you got involved in boys, things happen. In a trailer park, there'd be a lot of boys there, and so it's a big mess for you. I can understand what you're going through. I could really do that. It's like I'm trying to put together your pieces. So you have the custody arrangements. Somehow on Christmas Eve, you're fighting with your daughter about getting back the phone. And then someone called the police. Who called the police? Your husband?
I called the cops because I wanted to tell them to tell my daughter I have the right to be taking her phone and grounding her.
Okay. And what did the policeman do? What did the policeman do when you showed up?
He was going to show up at the house, but then I called him right before that, and I told him, you know what, officer, I just got yelled at because it's Christmas Eve, and I guess a police officer is going to come to talk to my daughter. So I just kind of, I kind of left the home, I said, and I just, I'm not trying to cause no drama, and I just thank you for because you were going to come out, basically. And he said, you know what, Heidi, he's like, children these days just don't understand that the parents are parents. They have rights.
Well, you're trying to be a parent. You're trying to be a parent. Why did you tell the policeman not to come out?
I told him not to come out afterwards because I told him, not to come out because I felt bad that, of what happened. I didn't want to, basically get a domestic on my daughter. But then this is happening now all over again. It's wild because this is the first time she came back, from her dad. And I don't know, if her dad lived here, she would also say I'd rather live with my aunt at the trailer park and this and that because she has done that. So she's used to that area over there. But I don't know. I suspect she's also started, smoking marijuana and but I don't want to get into that,
Well, I mean, smoking drugs is illegal in a lot of states. Some states it's legal, but you got to be 21. I mean, she's not 21. She's 13 years old. Yeah. So it's wrong to do drugs.
Everything that I'm saying to CPS, they don't care what I have to say. I even have a video of one of my daughters saying how so many things were happening in front of her that her dad did.
You have a lot of issues working with you right now, Heidi. You have the first issue.
Yeah,
you have a husband that doesn't like you, okay? You have a daughter that doesn't like you. Then you have a corrupt CP agency, the CPS agency. I'm sorry. I'll let you talk. I'm trying to understand.
I couldn't hear you.
Well, it's because we both can't be talking at the same time. So that's why I said I'll be quiet.
you broke up with the last sentence. I couldn't hear it. Can you
Okay.
repeat it?
Yes. I was trying to analyze what you're going through. You have a husband that you're not with, and I assume you want a divorce, and you have a bad case with your husband because you've had domestic violence with him. You also have a teenage daughter that is using your violence using the problem between you and your husband against you. She wants to talk to guys that are probably too old. She's hurt. She really is hurt there. She also wants to experience drugs and all the things that go with being a teenager. You're trying to be a parent. You're right. That was a good thing. You're trying to have the police talk to your daughter, because here's what can happen. CPS can come in and remove all 4 children and make your life like hell for the next 10 years. And you can lose custody of your children. And believe me, foster care is not fun. If your daughter thinks it's fun, it's not. She could be raped and molested, and she could be hurt in foster care. It isn't safe out there. Not every CPS, I don't say that all CPS are bad, but over the 500 some people I've talked to, they are bad. Foster care is bad. I mean, I have a classic point. I have a regular on my show named Faye, and she, as a small child, was in and out of foster care 5 times, including her teenage years. She was raped. She was sexual trafficking. She went through it all as a young child and as a teenager. But she buckled down, got her high school, got her college degree in nursing, and then she started having children. Because she had a record with CPS, they made her surrender her daughter. She had to choose between her son and her daughter. Her son was the special needs, so his son needed her. So she had to give up her daughter. There's nothing wrong. How can she be a good parent for her son and not a good parent for her daughter? They wanted her daughter. You see, there's the problem with foster care is there's a lot of bad foster care parents, and a lot of them manipulate, and they want children for doing devious things to them. They're not really good parents. They don't go through a good vetting program. They're not well trained. I've had foster care social workers on here on my show. I know the other side of the coin there. So you're at a really problem. Now, you said you've gone to a judge for custody. You've done the custody. And what about the child support? How much is he supposed to pay you?
He's supposed to pay me $400 a month, and so right now he's behind by like 13 or 16.
Okay.
And he hasn't paid a cent of it.
You need to have his wages garnished. You need to have his wages garnished.
He already stopped it.
You can't stop garnished wages.
He already told them that he's not working, and he already told them that, hey, the kids are with me now, so the child support, you guys can stop,
He's trying to manipulate the whole thing. He's a deadbeat man. He doesn't care. He doesn't care.
He didn't graduate 9th grade. I went to college. He never finished anything. And
well, the problem is also, you said you don't have an attorney. Why is he don't have an attorney?
Because a lot of them are booked, and then a lot of them won't take my case because me and Adam are still married. And because also, what was it before? Because now it changed. Now I have to find somebody that will represent me for this domestic violence, I guess. Because I don't understand why I have the police report. The police report said that they took my daughter into custody, and also I was cleared, but they didn't take my daughter into custody. That was weird. It said that. But you should have arrested me right then and there if I was getting charged.
Okay, wait. Now, who is this that says that they took your? Is it the CPS that's taking your daughter?
No. That day, when the cops came, he said, "Do you know of anybody that your daughter can go with?" I was like, "Maybe my mom or maybe my best friend Rosie." And so they were both, busy. One was sleeping, and the other from the third shift, shift. and Rosie was working. So I said, yeah, their dad, it's his weekend anyways, you know, per court order. And so he said, all right. And so like the kids all ended up getting in, you know, the cousin's car, and that's how I didn't get to see my kids. Like, I haven't seen my kids in like, oh my goodness, it took me like 50 days to see my kids, and I finally went to their school, and I told the principal things, you know, and he was under the impression that I lost all my rights and that I'm a deadbeat mom and I'm not even married to Adam.
Okay.
He does a lot of false allegations to people, and people don't like me because of that.
Okay. Well, you're going to have to get an attorney, and I know that is a burn on you, but you need someone. Okay, first of all, have you been charged criminally with domestic violence?
No.
Okay, then who is saying you have domestic violence?
The CPS lady, but I
Well,
told
the
her, no, that's not true.
CPS cannot charge criminal charges like domestic violence.
Right, but she's going off because of my warrant. She's like, but didn't you just get out of jail for a warrant? I said,
No,
yeah,
wait a minute. I didn't know you had a warrant. What was the warrant about?
For domestic violence.
Okay, you tell me you have a police report that says you don't have domestic violence. Why do you have a warrant for domestic violence?
I guess they issued that this week when I went to court I was trying to put Adam in court on Monday, and I had problems with my car, and so I ended up going there 30 minutes late, so nobody showed up, basically, is what the judge said. And Monday, that's when it got issued, but I didn't know that. So Tuesday, I ended up going over to the courthouse again for my daughter's domestic violence against her with me. And
okay, what that warrant was for, wait a second, I still am confused because CPS cannot charge criminal. You're leaving bits of the puzzle out there, Heidi. I'm trying to understand what you're trying to say to me is that, see, for instance, a warrant is a failure to not appear. A warrant is a court order. It's like failure to appear or failure not to appear. It's also could be a warrant to allow them to take your child or enter your home. What did the warrant say? What did the warrant say?
To call the courthouse for arraignment.
Arraignment for what?
For domestic violence. Now they want to hear both. I think it's because since my daughter didn't show up to her conference thing, disposition conference, now they have to kind of take it to court, I think it is. And so now they want to hear both parties. You know, now they're going to take it to, like, we're going to start the process.
How can you guys have to go for domestic violence if no one's been charged? You tell me the only person who's been charged is your husband 4 times. So how can you have to go to arraignment for a warrant? I mean, I'm totally, you're missing some pieces to the puzzle here.
Well, his was from like years ago when he lived in the home, and that is
a separate issue. I'm not talking about his warrant. I'm talking about you have a warrant. A warrant is something that you have to appear because you failed to appear.
I have a video too.
You
about like the cops knocking on my
the
door.
videos will not help you unless you have an attorney to submit that in court. Also, the videos, that's the what do you call it? You got the wheels before you got the body of the cart. Meaning, the videos will come into play, but this is the proper time. I'm trying to understand what the warrant. Do you have the warrant nearby that you can read it to me?
I do not. They didn't give me anything. They just showed me on the laptop that they said that they came over to do a welfare check because Adam called, and so they were out in the driveway, and then they looked me up and it said I had a warrant for domestic violence, and the number, and that's it.
All right. They look you up, which they always do. You have a warrant. A warrant was issued because you failed to appear.
I failed to appear to my own court for my court for him, and then Tuesday was when Aaliyah's court.
So what does that a warrant have to do with your daughter, who's 13? You said that's with Adam,
because
and
on
you said
Monday,
that.
I was supposed to show up for court for Adam because I was trying to get him for alienating. I was trying to send him to court, and he didn't show up, and then I was late, so I didn't show up to my own court. You know what I mean? So the judge can be like, Adam, we already did this. We already did the custody, and Heidi needs to get those kids. You know what I mean? But
okay, but I don't
show up. So
yeah.
If I would have showed up, yeah, it would have been basically like a done deal. But since I didn't, I'm getting it rescheduled. But right now, I put another ex parte in, which I just don't know why, but.
Well, ex parte means you're going to defend yourself. That's not going to help you. You need an attorney badly because you're stumbling around and digging yourself further in the hole, and eventually you're going to be incarcerated. You're dealing with a bad.
That's something I didn't do because I didn't even touch her.
I know that, but you keep talking about her. Is it Adam or is it your daughter?
It's my daughter. That's the domestic for supposedly.
Okay, so you've been charged domestic violence, not only about your husband. Well, okay, your husband's been charged.
Not my husband. No. My husband I've never fought with him. He has hit me though in the past, and I have
All right.
called
Okay.
Domestic on him, and he has got those charges. These were years ago though.
Well, what are you must have, did you attack your daughter and the police arrested you and charged you with domestic violence? Then how is CPS?
No, I did go to court. I'm telling what?
Okay, let me tell you something maybe you can understand. There's criminal court and dependency court. Dependency court is the court that they will hear divorce, juvenile, and family matters regarding CPS. That's not criminal court. Domestic violence always belongs in criminal court. It's a misdemeanor, and it belongs in criminal court. And maybe you're not understanding. If you did domestic violence against your daughter, or she did domestic violence against you, then the police would have to charge her criminally, and it'd be in criminal court. Now, CPS can take away your children because you're involved in a criminal matter with domestic violence with your daughter or with your husband, Adam. So you're not in. See, I think what's happened is that you think that the CPS can work in criminal court. Now, I had a case, and I was charged criminally, and all CPS did with my children and my family, everything, my wife and I were charged. They sat for a year, and they did nothing because they said you have to get it done, taken care of in criminal court first. CPS wouldn't do anything. They were bankrolling themselves because they're getting $20,000 per child. That's 3 children. That's $60,000 they're getting per month. So I know it's frustrating, but I want to help you, and that's why you need to get yourself an attorney. Now, a dependency attorney will help you with your CPS case, your juvenile family CPS case. A criminal attorney will help you with your domestic violence.
Yeah.
So it's like, I know this is like a ping pong ball scattered going around because you're bouncing back in there, but you need to take care of the criminal matter first. Now, if your daughter has not been charged or you've not been charged, then there's no criminal matter. But you said there was a warrant, and a warrant is issued of a criminal matter. Now, there could be several kinds of warrant. There could be a warrant to enter your home. There could be a warrant to take your child. There could be a warrant for failure to not appear. For instance, if you get a traffic violation and you do not show up by the date that's on the ticket, a warrant will be issued for your arrest. And if a warrant's out there, they'll arrest you.
I ended up, the only thing I got was saying, basically, in the matter of my daughter, I'm so sorry, Heidi. We're sorry to learn about the recent domestic violence offense committed against you. Our office has charged the juvenile with the following crimes: domestic violence. Michigan law provides the victims of crimes in some cases.
So your daughter has been charged with domestic violence.
Right. That's why I ended up going to her conference, but she didn't show up. And then that was a Tuesday. But Monday, a warrant went out to me for domestic violence, which I like nobody. You know what I mean? Like,
well, it didn't say you're not domestic violence. You didn't have domestic violence. A warrant went out. You failed to appear Monday, right?
No, I was there Monday, but I was late for my own court hearing.
Well, they consider you when you're late. They consider you when you're late. The court of law will say that you didn't show up.
But that wasn't for the domestic violence. That was for parent. That was me accusing Adam of not giving me my parent time.
Okay. I wish you had a copy of that warrant. The only way you're going to solve your case, because it's really mind-boggling, and I can understand why a lot of attorneys don't want to help you because you're very confusing. You have to start at the very beginning, from day one, maybe from the time you first met Adam when you're 12 years old. And then you have to go from there step by step to get to where you are today. Because something has happened along that's triggered all these problems for you. I mean, there must have been a period of time that you and Adam loved each other enough to get married, right? And you had 4 children with him, so there must have been some love there. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't have very much more time on my show. I'm looking at my clock here, and I have about 2 minutes left. Now, I want to help you as best I can. And my recommendation is that you need to talk to an attorney. Now, I have an attorney that produces this podcast. His name is Vincent W. Davis. And right now, he'll do a consultation, a Zoom meeting with you for 30 minutes for $60. You can book that Zoom meeting, but you need to go to my website, https://candidly, CALENDLY.com/apps, APPTS, VWD/Bob Pace. He has 35 years of fighting CPS. He also has a law firm with criminal attorneys. He also has a law firm with juvenile attorneys. So he has everything you can possibly need. And for 30 minutes, for $60, he'll talk with you. He'll give you a Zoom consultation, and he will tell you and try to help you with your case. Now, I also want you. He will do that. You just need to go to that website. Also, you can talk to me again tomorrow at 10 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. That's my next show. And we can continue this discussion, and I will try to help you. I'm not trying to abandon you at all.
Thank you so much, Bob.
I'm not trying to abandon you at all.
I will keep looking at you.
Yeah.
I will keep being on your
Yes.
watching your shows. And
Yes, I know that. I know that. But I'm there for you. We'll work it through there. So call again tomorrow. I don't understand why you're not on the show. I guess there's a new format that people now have to go to my Facebook page to get comments on, because right now I have no comments that I can see. And so I'm going to have to go
I
here.
will find you on Facebook.
Under the name Bob Pace. Fight CPS Bob Pace.
I will find you. I always go on YouTube, so
Yeah.
I always see you. On
Thank
top of
you
my
all
list,
for
and I always
listening,
click on you.
and God bless you all. And I will talk to you tomorrow.